We're just about done with 2020, but the harsh reality is there are still thousands unemployed, many of whom count on federal dollars to survive. According to GHURA Director Ray Topasna, the same federal dollars many have been using to put food on the table could very well be the reason mortgage relief might be off the table.
I don't think there was a lot of consideration in terms of whether some of these programs based on federal regs are going to end up basically canceling each other out or disqualifying each other. The applicant ends up being ineligible because they are no longer income qualified because of the PUA checks that they're receiving.
With federal regulations being applied equally to these programs nationwide, Topasna says our disadvantage is that things are a little different for us here on Guam.
Unfortunately, on Guam, we have multi-generational households where 3 or 4 are working, and all of them are unfortunately receiving PUA. So we have to calculate all 4, and then it kicks them above the income threshold, and then they end up being ineligible. So that's the struggles we're facing. So the honest truth is today we've not been able to clear a single mortgage relief application.
The Guam Housing Corporation received a total of $714,000 for the mortgage relief program. The program, set to provide aid for up to 3 months of mortgage payments, has 3 main criteria for eligibility. 1, it must be an owner-occupied primary home. 2, you must have lost your job or experienced reduced hours due to COVID-19. And 3, household income. Of the some 400 or so applications picked up for this program, only 122 applications were received. 13 were sent over to GHURA for review, and of the 13, 7 have already been deemed as ineligible. Topasna says he's been working with federal partners in efforts to grant waivers to allow for recipients of other federal programs to still be eligible for mortgage relief.
I'm pretty sure we may not be the only one asking for a waiver, but as it stands, the waivers have not been granted. And, my position is, or the request we put on the table is, if you are affected by COVID, if you lost your job or you had a reduction in hours, then certainly you should be able to qualify for mortgage relief. But that doesn't seem to be the position of our federal partners.
Topasna says it all boils down to federal regulations.
That's my suggestion to Congress. Why don't you pass legislation that would do away with some of these stringent rules? Right. And maybe we could expedite some of these mortgage relief and rent relief rather than having to give out bad news that you're ineligible simply because your assets are above the threshold or your PUA payments are above the threshold.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Peter Santos.